Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Boom, and we're live. What's happening, beautiful people? Good day, good morning, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our live stream. Today is Friday. Happy Friday, everyone. Friday, 5th of March, 2021, and we're only 25 minutes ahead of the non-farm payroll data and the unemployment numbers that will come out from the United States in 25 minutes. So, first of all, big welcome, everyone. Type your questions if you have any questions. Interact with me, and I will do my best to take your questions towards the end of the webinar. Also, stay tuned, guys. Shortly after the non-farm payroll, we're going to have a special guest. Today, it's all about trading. Today, it's all about trading in South Africa. So stay tuned, guys. Don't go anywhere. Now, I want to tell you a few things about the non-farm payroll, guys. So beginner traders understand exactly how non-farm payroll works, how it affects the markets, and what the non-farm payroll is. Okay, I'm just going to go straight through it. It's going to be a 5-minute, 10-minute presentation, and then I'm going to move on to some important articles, okay, in the charts of the day. And from there on, we're going to see the data together, and then I'm going to welcome my very, very special guest. So don't go anywhere. Non-farm payroll numbers coming up. Right, and here we are. I'm going to start the presentation, guys. So grab a pen, grab a notebook, grab an iPad, grab a beer, and pay attention. First of all, for compliance purposes, I have to read the disclaimer, guys. All information presented during this webinar is from public sources and should be treated accordingly. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It is very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take your own financial decision or independently research and verify any information that you see and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. We would like to draw your attention to the following important investment warnings. The value of shares and investments and the income derived from them can go up as well as down. Investors may not get back the amount they invested, and past performance is not a guide to future performance. Now that we have compliance out of the way, guys, we can get started. And the question is, what is the non-farm payroll? That is the question. Very, very simple answer. The non-farm payroll report is a key economic indicator for the United States. It is intended to represent the total number of paid workers in the U.S., less farm employees, government employees, private household employees, and employees of non-profit organizations. The non-farm payroll report causes one of the largest rate movements in the FX market. Also, the non-farm payroll comes out once a month, guys. The first Friday of every month is when America is announcing their employment, their unemployment, their imports, their exports, the average hourly earnings, okay, and more. We're going to get to the economic calendar in a few minutes. So this is what the non-farm payroll is. Yeah, it basically measures the jobs that have been offered to the population in the previous month, okay, not looking at farm employees, government employees, private household, and employees of non-profit organizations. Now, let's move on to the second slide, guys, because as far as I know, we have 12 or 13 slides. So I'm just going to try and fast forward a bit so I get to the really important part, which is the economic calendar and, of course, the charts of the day. So why is the non-farm payroll important? A higher payroll figure is good for the U.S. economy. This is because more job additions help to contribute to a healthier economic growth. Yeah, see it this way. People that have a job, a steady job, and they're getting paid for that, they will tend to spend more money, yeah, because they have some sort of security, yeah, some sort of safety net, okay, which is their steady job, yeah, their 9-to-5 job. So as a result, FX traders and investors are looking for positive addition of at least 100,000 jobs per month, yet to consider this a positive announcement. Anything that comes below that, okay, below 150, below 190,000 jobs, yet can be considered weak. And the US dollar might tumble a bit, even though the numbers come out in green. Now, moving on to the next slide, this is an example of why is it good to have a strong US dollar, okay? Or why is it good to have a weak US dollar? What's the difference? Put it this way, guys. Let's say you're in Japan. You just landed in Japan. Your boss, your CEO, sent you to Japan to negotiate a contract. And you are landing today, okay? Let's say you also got paid yesterday and your salary did not hit your bank account yet. You have $1 in your pocket. What will you do? Obviously, you're going to get a coffee. Yeah, that's basically what you can do with $1. So let's say before the announcement, here $1 equals to 100 Japanese yen. Let's say the announcement comes out and it's positive and the dollar starts strengthening. Then your dollar will worth 110 Japanese yen. Yeah, so you can get a bit more cream on your coffee if you want to. But what happens if you only have $1 in your pocket? The announcement comes out negative. The dollar tumbles. And you can't even get a regular cup of coffee with your $1 because your $1 now is worth 90 Japanese yen. This is the difference. Yeah, this is how the economic data that's released every day in the economic calendar impacts the markets. Yeah, and the exchange rate of currency pairs. Now, let's move on to the next slide, guys. How to spot the non-farm payroll? Very, very easy. The same thing I'm talking about every single day, guys, when I'm presenting the news, the economic calendar. So any economic calendar, you can find it on investing.com. You can find it on Forex Factory. You can find it on your broker's website. Most brokerages do have an economic calendar, which usually is the one streamed from Forex Factory or investing.com, or very similar to that one. So any economic calendar, guys. You can even watch Bloomberg, yeah, to try and spot the economic data that's announced, and also the non-farm payroll. Now, this is an example of last month's economic calendar, and you can see how many announcements come out in the exact same time. And the most exposed currency pair to a big shake-off is the USD CAD, because US and Canada are announcing almost the same thing in the same time. Okay, so if everything comes out positive on the US side things and everything comes out negative on the Canadian side of things, then you're going to see a big shake-off in the markets. Okay, that shake-off doesn't really happen when you get mixed data. Okay, you might get a positive non-farm payroll, but the average hourly earnings, okay, which basically measure how much the population is getting paid, yeah, drops, because that means people are overworked and underpaid. Yeah, or just underpaid. So anyone that's underpaid won't really go out every night, yeah, and spend money or order food or stuff like that. Okay, so also you're gonna have the unemployment rate on the US dollar and also the unemployment rate in Canada. Okay, there is a bit of discrepancy. Yeah, there is a bit of a difference between these two unemployment rates, and you have to be on the good side of the trade. Okay, how do you do that? I'll tell you in the next couple of minutes. Now, let's move on to the next slide, guys, because I'm eager to get to the charts and have a look at a couple of articles. Right, what assets can you trade on the non-farm payroll? Yeah, what's on the table, guys? Basically, anything that has the US dollar or its peers. Okay, this is how it works. Let's take this case, for example. Let's say you have the currency pairs that have the dollar as the base currency, yeah, in the left-hand side. So USD CHF, USD CAD, USD JPY. Okay. On the other hand, you're going to have the US dollar in the right-hand side, yeah, as the base currency, as the quote currency, sorry. Okay, in Euro USD, AUD USD, and GBP USD. This is just an example, guys. Okay, you have the Aussie dollar, you have the Kiwi dollar as well, and you have more and more currency pairs, minors or exotics that have the US dollar present there. But today, I just want to talk to you about the majors, yeah, the big ones. Okay, so these are the big ones. So if you get an indication that the US dollar will strengthen following the announcement, then you're looking to purchase, yeah, to buy anything that has the US dollar as the base currency. So anything that has the US dollar in the left is worth buying if you truly believe the US dollar will strengthen. In the same time, if you want to add more positions to your trading account, you can sell everything that has the dollar as the quote currency. Yeah, everything that has the dollar in the right hand side of the currency pair. In the same time, guys, let's not forget something very important. Gold and silver tend to move in the opposite direction to the US dollar. Okay, mainly gold, but silver tends to follow gold. Yeah, so in this case, you could say gold and silver move in the opposite direction of the US dollar. There you go. You can open 6, 7, 8 positions if you want. You never know which one is going to be the lucky one. Okay, this is one way of trading the non-farm payroll, treating the US dollar as the strong asset or as the weak asset. Yeah, and when I say the US dollar, I mean the US dollar and its other peers. Right. Okay, by the way, if you have any questions, guys, any comments, do let me know. Type your comments, type your questions, and I will do my best to answer. Right, moving on. Here's what's happening if you get a negative result, and here's what's happening if you get a positive result. Should you panic if you get it wrong? Not really. As long as you stick to the basics, to the basic risk management tools and exposure and so on, you shouldn't really panic. Yeah, it's just one announcement. You never go all in on an announcement, or you never go all in when you're trading, when you're investing. So let's say the announcement comes out negative, guys, and you're going to see the US dollar tumbling. It's going to tumble for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, somewhere there, maybe 20 minutes, if everything comes out very, very bad. Then what's happening with the markets? You're going to see the market starting to correct. Yeah, because after such a big drop, such a big drawdown, you're going to have a lot of buyers on the market. Okay, there will be a fight on the markets between speculators, speculative traders. So sooner or later, unless the announcement is really, really bad, the price will get back to its initial values. So you can either cut the loss if you get it wrong, cut the loss straight away, or wait for the markets to calm down. Many, many times I've seen I got on the wrong side of the trade during the non-farm payroll, and I kept the trades open. And on Monday, guys, guess what happened? All my trades went into profit. Okay, new week, new opportunities, new traders, more trading volume. Okay, so there's always the opportunity of a correction. Now, look in the right-hand side of the screen. Let's say the US dollar strengthens, okay, and it's going to shoot up for quite a few minutes. What's going to happen after? The exact same thing that happened a few minutes ago when the US dollar weakened. Slowly but surely, you're going to see a correction on the market. Okay, will that correction go all the way to the break-even level or send your trades into profit? No one can guarantee that. But what that correction can do for you is help you minimize your loss. Yeah, let's say at its peak, your loss would have been $500. You didn't close the trade. You had more funds in your account to sustain the volatility, in the movement. And slowly, the correction started. Now you can close the trade with a loss of only $100, or $50, or why not even break even or in profit. Okay, this is one thing we need to keep in mind. You never go all in on an announcement. And if you are caught on the wrong side of the trade, please remember something. The loss only occurs when you're closing that position. As long as you have money in your account and you don't close your position, you haven't lost anything, have you? Right. Moving on. How to trade the non-farm payroll, guys. Very, very simple strategy. You can trade multiple assets like I showed you in the example a few minutes ago, or you can just choose 2 assets, guys. Usually it's 2 assets. You never keep all the eggs in one basket. Remember, gold is moving in the opposite direction most times. So gold might be a good asset to trade on. Okay, and then you have to choose one of the currency pairs that has the dollar in the left or in the right-hand side that moves the most, or has the most potential to move when the announcement comes out. So how to trade a non-farm payroll? Choose your asset. Choose your investment. Make sure you don't overexpose your trading account. Choose the direction, guys. Yeah, it can only go two ways, buy or sell. That's it, up or down. Open the position or click the invest button if you have an invest button on a trading platform. Wait for the markets to react and then decide if you want to close the position or not. If you're in profit, obviously you can close it straight away. If you're not in profit, then you got it wrong. Then you have to decide what you want to do. Either you can allow the markets to move a bit and then hope for the correction, or you can take the loss and you will make up for it with another trade. All right. Now, take profit and stop loss, guys. They're very, very important. Now, when these movements happen on the market, okay, you're going to see most times a whipsaw movement, which means, yeah, it goes up, it goes down. It goes up, it goes down very, very fast. If your take profit or stop loss is very, very close to the price action, your positions might close either with a bit of a loss or with a bit of profit even before the announcement happened. Okay, I'm not saying don't use a stop loss. By all means, always use a stop loss if you can. But be very careful where you're going to place that stop loss, how much money you're willing to lose. Okay, and if your stop loss might be triggered by mistake, by just a bit of volatility on the market, which sometimes happens even before the event is announced. Okay, so optional for take profit and stop loss. Usually the time frame used for trading events is 5 minutes or 1 minute. You can even use the 15 minutes chart, but you're taking a bit of a risk there because you don't know how aggressive the movement will be. And if you see it too late, then you might not react as you wanted. Now, let's have a quick look at 3 market trends, guys. Only 3 market trends. That's it. No other thing can happen on a Forex platform. So you have a downtrend where the market keeps creating lower highs and lower lows. Then you're going to have a ranging market when the market starts moving sideways. Yeah, from left to right, touching roughly the same highs and lows. And eventually that will end with a breakout to the upside or to the downside. In this case, it's to the upside, and we can see an uptrend starting. Yeah, that's when the markets create higher lows and higher highs. Okay, very, very easy. 10 minutes to the announcement, guys. Now, one thing I wanted to highlight, where the blue arrows are. Okay, that can happen during the NFP, for example, during an announcement, during any data announced on the economic calendar. Okay, so what events do? They just shake off the markets for the short run. Okay, on the long run, the market will follow the trend. Okay, unless the event that happened is very important, like I don't know, U.S. president getting in trouble, for example, or the Russian president, or something really, really big happening, then probably just a shake-off of the markets will happen during the non-farm payroll or any other announcement, and then the markets will resume the trend. Okay, it's worth looking at the charts on a 1 hour chart, on a 4 hour chart, or even daily, guys, to understand the bigger picture. Okay, before you position yourselves on the market, it helps you when you want to get out. Yeah, if I know I'm in a downtrend and I manage to catch the dollar weakening, for example, like you see in the left-hand side of the chart, then I'm going to be tempted to ride that trend. As easy as that. The more you ride the trend, the more money you're going to be making if you're on the good side of the trade. This is it. Right, slide number 12, guys. The Q&A, I see you don't have comments. No one commented today. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. You're going to have questions. It's okay. So if you have any comments, guys, if you want to get in touch, please feel free to drop us an email at info@instructfx.com. Drop me an email on my direct email, thechartwhisperer@gmail.com, or contact us through the website, instructfx.com, guys. This was it. Don't go anywhere. I'm coming back live in 30 seconds with the charts of the day, and we're going to have a look at the economic calendar and see what is expected to happen after the non-farm payroll. Stay tuned. I'm coming back live in 30.
Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's higher trading from MarketsX.
Right, guys, and we're back. I was just playing with the charts, making sure everything works fine. There's the economic calendar for today. Let's have a quick look and see what will happen in 6 minutes from now, because it's very, very important. So in 6 minutes from now, you're going to have a series of announcements. Like I mentioned a few minutes ago, you're going to have the average hourly earnings, which usually measure how much people are getting paid. You're going to have exports, imports, non-farm payrolls, participation rate for the non-farm payrolls, the private non-farm payrolls, the trade balance, and the unemployment rate. This is what's going to be announced on the US dollar, and it all comes out in the same time. Now, I hope you understand why the markets are creating this whipsaw movement, because you have a bunch of announcements coming. And even more than that, to top it up, you're going to have the trade balance coming out from Canada on the Canadian dollar, which is expected to come out negative $1.4 billion. Now, let's see what consensus is expecting from the NFP numbers today. 182,000 jobs consensus predicted to be added. Last month, we saw a depressing 49,000 jobs. But let's not forget, the data measures the jobs that have been offered to the people in the previous month, guys. So what did we have in the previous month going on in the States? We had Texas freezing. Okay, Texas is still recovering. We had a lot of oil rigs. We had a very heavy winter in the States that affected many states, okay, many cities. So I don't know what was the condition of the COVID pandemic in the previous month in the States. It was at its peak, okay, if I'm not mistaken. So it's hard to believe you're gonna get a ton of jobs offered to the population. Right, shortly after that, we're going to have a press conference on the pound. We're going to see a bit of volatility on the pound. And then we're going to have at 2100 hours, guys, the U.S. federal budget, which is very, very important. Okay, and then we're going to end the week with the same speculative net positions from CFTC, which are announced more or less every Friday. Okay, so average hourly earnings are expected to increase this month. No, are expected to be unchanged from the previous month, 0.2%. Year over year, we're looking at a decrease from consensus. 5.3% is predicted by consensus for the average hourly earnings. We have an expectation of 182,000 jobs offered to the population in the past month for non-farm payrolls. For the private non-farm payrolls, we're looking at 210,000 jobs versus just 6,000 that came out last month. Okay, trade balance still expected to come out negative, a bit higher than the previous, negative $67.5 billion. Unemployment rate, again, is expected to remain unchanged at 6.3%. And we're exactly 3 minutes away from the announcement. Guys, quick look. Let's have a quick look at the charts, first of all, and see what's happening, what's the condition of the market here. We see the euro tumbling the entire European trading session and overnight as well. Okay, 119.39 for the euro this afternoon, with the RSI and the stochastic way into the oversold levels. So there is potential for a correction on the euro if the US dollar will tank today. There's also a possibility for the euro continuing the downtrend. But let's see. Usually after such a big downtrend, such a big drop on the last couple of trading sessions, we should see a bit of a correction. A bit more than what we saw so far. The pound, again, the pound tumbled in the last couple of trading sessions. It started the correction this morning, but the investors are very, very cautious ahead of the non-farm payroll data. Right, okay. Now, moving on, we're looking at the USD Jpy, which pulled back a few hours ago and now is getting ready for another rally by the looks of it. 108.33 this afternoon for USD Jpy. Again, RSI stochastic somewhere in the lower section of the chart. Let's see what's going to happen. The Aussie dollar is tumbling along with the euro and the pound for the last few trading sessions. Again, it would look right for a correction. And the USD CAD had a decent rally yesterday and overnight. It started tumbling today. Right, this is the condition of the markets, guys. Let's see what's going to happen. We are 1 minute ahead of the announcement. Let's see how the markets will react. And more importantly, let's see how the non-farm payroll numbers will come out this month. Will it match consensus expectations? Will it come out very depressing once again like it did last month? Only time will tell. Probably the worst, the longest 30 seconds. so far. I'm just going to move to a 5-minute chart so you can see the volatility happening. Right, USD CAD is pushing lower. We're looking at Euro USD, still undecided. Probably the announcement did not come out yet. The pound is getting ready to rally upwards. Right, let's have a quick look. No, still, guys. This is the longest minute. We need to count to 60 twice on the first Friday of every month. Still, nothing has happened yet. Come on, show us what's going on. The volatility is there more or less. We can see that last red candlestick started moving already. Euro USD, still nothing. Pound is very undecided. Usd Jpy is undecided, but it's getting ready to shoot up for some reason. Let's see what's going to happen. Is the announcement out? That is the question. No, still the longest minute. Right, I told you we have to count to 60 twice today. Come on, show us what is happening with the non-farm payroll. Right, USD Jpy pushing up, GBP USD pushing down, Euro USD froze for some reason. 1937. Come on, economic calendar. Let us know what's happening with the non-farm payrolls. And there we go. We have the data coming out. Positive 379,000 jobs, guys. 379,000 jobs. Look at the reaction Euro had. Euro is shooting down. The pound is shooting down. Look at USD Jpy, guys, which was getting ready to shoot up. Now you can see it shooting up. AUD USD is stumbling for sure. USD CAD is shooting up as well. Well, look at gold, guys. Look at the spike on gold. Look at that big gap. 1689.65 for gold this afternoon. Unbelievable what's happening with the gold price. Right, let's have a quick look at the economic calendar. Have a look at the data that came out. 0.2% for the average hourly earnings. 5.3% as expected for the average hourly earnings year over year. And we're looking at the non-farm payroll of 379,000 jobs versus an expectation of 182 from consensus. We're looking at the participation rate of 61.4%, just like last time. We're looking at private non-farm payrolls coming out almost 500,000, guys. 465,000 jobs versus 210 predicted by consensus and versus the 90,000 that came out last month. The trade balance, big deficit, negative 68.2 billion versus an expectation of negative 67.5. We see an unemployment rate better than expected, 6.2% versus an expectation of 6.3%. And the trade balance on the Canadian dollar came out 141 billion versus an expectation of a negative 140 that was expected. Right. Quick look at the charts once again. Okay, this is how the markets react, guys, and this is on a 5-minute chart. If you look at it on a 1-minute chart, the movement will be even more aggressive. Okay, so 119.01 for the euro this afternoon, guys. 137.92 for the pound. 108.55 for USD Jpy and 0.7629 for the Aussie dollar. Right, there is a spike. There is a spike on the markets. Look at USD CAD. USD CAD is still pushing up. Right. Now we're going to have another look at the charts in 20 minutes or so once the market calmed down. Until then, we're going to have a fantastic interview, guys. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss this out. Today, it's all about trading. It's all about trading in South Africa. And we're going to have a special guest from South Africa joining us in about a minute or so. Stay tuned. We're coming back live.
Go interactive with X-Ray, where we bring trading experts to you live in the platform. Choose sessions, watch live market analysis, and catch up on your favorite market insights anytime. Ask questions and go one-to-one with leading experts on gold, oil, FX, crypto, indices, and equities. X-Ray, your very own analysis team, right at your fingertips. That's higher trading from MarketsX. Discover how some of the top executives are trading their own companies with our Insider Trades tool. See who's been buying or selling stock and what their trades say about insider sentiment. Use this unique big data tool to make more informed stock trades. That's Higher Trading from MarketsX.
Right, and we're back, beautiful people. We're going to let the markets calm down for a few minutes, and then we're going to get back to the markets. Today, happy Friday once again. The topic is about South Africa, guys, and trading Forex in South Africa. And it's a very dear topic to me. As I worked with so many clients from South Africa in the last 10 years, I lost count. So without further ado, today I want to introduce you a trading mentor from South Africa that, after working in the financial markets for a few years, realized it was time to do a bit more and opened a mentoring firm for beginner traders. That mentoring firm was opened 6 years ago, and today is one of the most popular mentoring firms in South Africa. So, ladies, gentlemen, traders, without further ado, from Johannesburg, South Africa, the founder of Pro Trading Africa, Mainda Kayoba. How are you, Mainda? Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Happy Friday. And how are you?
Always good, always good. What did you think about the NFP, first of all?
Wow. Honestly, I'm surprised. 379 jobs created, despite obviously what was happening in Texas. I mean, this took us by surprise, honestly. But look, we're trading. We expected it,
It was expected, to be honest. When I saw the market started moving downwards today, the entire day, and they moved downwards overnight as well, I was expecting it because markets tend to do this, especially on the NFP.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. You're quite right. I mean, look, what's happening in the US right now, there's a lot of uncertainty. But as traders, like I say, we have to go on our toes,
Oh, and also, we need to bear in mind something. A huge amount of money is about to be injected in the U.S. market. Okay, so
100%.
that obviously will weaken the dollar a bit.
You're quite right there, Andrew. You're quite right.
All right. Now, first of all, Mainda, how are you?
Look, Andrew, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much. I'm very humbled, I'm fantastic, I'm excellent. I'm excited.
Thank you for the challenge, and it's a pleasure to have you here. How was this year for you so far?
Andrew, this year has been great, for me personally, as well as people that I know of, better than last year, So
Yeah.
we're quite excited.
Better than last year, because last year ended. That's why. But the start scared me a bit, to be honest. Can you tell me what's the situation in South Africa now in terms of COVID and vaccinations and stuff? Is it getting better?
It's actually getting better because the government has actually rolled out, some vaccination and eased the restrictions a bit, and I'm saying that it's actually much better than it was actually last year.
Are you still in lockdown?
So there's different kind of lockdown. There's level 1 to level 5. Level 5 is the extreme. We're back to level 1. So there's a lot of, mobility within the country.
I understand.
Yeah.
All right. Now, Pro Trading South Africa, one of the most popular education platforms for beginner traders in South Africa. How did it all start?
Well, Andrew, so it started like 6 years ago, as you mentioned. But before then, I used to do physical commodity trading. Then I was introduced to the market. I worked for a couple of prominent brokerage. And obviously, I saw a gap within, the industry to have an institute which is pure, which is transparent, to assist mostly, first-time traders. And that's how it actually began.
6 years ago. Wow. How was the start? How difficult was it when you started? Were people believing that you're actually trying to help them?
I'm glad you asked that. Look, it was actually a difficult phase because there's been, I would say, a group of dishonest people, industry, fake gurus, people claiming to know how to trade. So it was extremely difficult,
And what would you say makes a trading guru? How can you spot a fake trading guru from the real deal? Because you are the real deal. I am the real deal because we worked in the markets. We know what's happening and we can prove it. But how can we spot these other?
It's very simple. I mean, obviously, the lower you earn with probably, expensive cars, flashing money and so on and so forth, And one of them is account management, which I need to obviously, bring to your attention. Most traders obviously trust people with their funds, and most of the time, these fake gurus, disappear with the funds. That's how you spot a fake guru in a way, And mostly they don't actually host, seminars or one-on-one training. That's like a red flag for me.
Right. Can I continue? Can I add a bit more red flags? Yesterday, I was approached. So first of all, you got to be careful at their profile. Are they public people? Do they have a LinkedIn profile? Do they have a Facebook profile? Do they have a track record of working in the industry or trading at least or something? Is that on a demo? Is that on a real account? These are the things you should know. And the most important thing: would you trust someone to manage your funds that you met on Facebook, for example?
Absolutely not. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't. However, Andrew, look, the government is actually quite aware. There's going to be a couple of restrictions. One, to be probably a mentor, you need to have a license. I think by the end of this year, it will be very clear. So we're quite excited about that.
Yes, that's a good finally, finally, it's a progress. Finally is happening, because I know South Africa has been, let's say, trading for many, many years, and they didn't get the best results ever. Now, when so you launched Pro Trading Africa, okay, you struggled a bit at the beginning, like every startup. When did the business started leveling off, let's say?
I would say 2 years after we launched, when we went from 1,000, traders to 10,000 traders. That's when we knew that we got the traction, and obviously the trust from people. However, the job was enormous, So that's when we realized that we had a lot of work to do.
I don't believe you and me, because I do the same thing.
Yeah. No, certainly. So yeah, that's when we realized that there's a lot of job too. So the whole idea behind Pro Trading Africa is to obviously branch out throughout Africa. To reach out to that one gentleman or one sister who is very, who feels stuck. To be honest, Andrew, I don't know actually to politics. However, I would say most African leaders has let us down. So it's up to us, because people like you and I to lend a helping hand.
Right. I know what you're talking about. Tell me, how many employees did you have when you first started the company? Did you have any employees, or you were doing everything?
So I had a business associate. It was just the two of us. Then from there, we branched out into different provinces. People might call them states, but it's provinces. So I have I think 2 or 3 stations in different provinces. Let's say there's a group of like 20 students who like to learn. I can obviously, dedicate, their work to them. Then they'll carry on and, continue the mentorship. But if it's very close by to where I am at the moment, I normally travel and host seminars myself.
I understand. You do it because you like it, or it's just the money?
It's actually adding value. The money comes afterwards. I really love assisting people. I don't actually look at the money. I want to see someone say, "Thank you so much." You put food on my table. That motivates me.
I know what you mean. Or someone saying, "You just saved me from getting scammed because I was about to do something really, really silly with a trading group."
Yeah, right. No, you're right.
And help your clients with all the issues, or just the trading part? How do you work, basically? How does Pro Trading work?
We provide market analysis that come with explanation, because as you can see, our slogan is knowledge is profit. We believe that if one has the knowledge, then they can obviously pass it on to other people around them. So we provide with education as well as market analysis that, like I said, come with explanation to help them make better decisions on the markets themselves.
Sweet. And that happens on a demo account to start with, on a real account? How does it work?
Look, we feel comfortable obviously working on a demonstration account first, when they feel comfortable, that's when they can transit into a live account. When they themselves feel comfortable. But prior to that, we have materials that we do provide and say, please go through the materials. Where you don't understand, get back to us. Then we can have that one-on-one session. Then that's how we actually go about it.
That's exactly how we do things here as well. And I think, if you ask me, I think this is the best ways of doing business, allowing the client to tell you, I think I'm ready. I'm ready now.
You're right, Andrew. You're right.
Right. Now, question. I have a tricky question for you.
Okay.
What would you say the biggest issue traders in South Africa are facing right now? I know banking is one of them. What's the...
You're quite right. Banking is one of them. There's, I think, two, if not one, major bank which doesn't actually allow, trading itself, like Forex. Clients can't fund using that. However, I think one of the challenges is the same fake gurus, scam artists, and people where they get, where they can get, real information. So that has been, one of the challenges.
Now, I have a question, because I'm very aware of what's happening in South Africa, and I was planning a seminar in South Africa. I'm planning a seminar in South Africa for the last 5 years, but every year something happens and I can't make it, and hopefully I will make it soon. Do people really want to understand that the guy they see driving a Ferrari on Facebook, of course, is not the real deal? Do they open their ears to listen? Because along my career, I spoke with some people that were refusing to believe the reality. Are you fighting the same problem? How do you find it?
It's I would say 50-50. There's like I said, Forex scammers who obviously go out there and rent cars, and there are those who genuinely do trading and obviously make a living out of it. So I do understand where they come from. But I think that's one of the challenges that we're facing at the moment. They can't distinguish between the real trader and obviously the fake one. But it's trading, as you know, is one of the biggest industries. So there's money to be made in the industry.
Only $6 trillion a day, only in the Forex market. I know. Talking about that, what drives you to do this?
What motivates me is to add value in people's lives. The vision is to reach out to as many Africans first before we branch out into the rest of the world. There's so much hunger for knowledge in Africa as a whole. So that actually motivates me. If not me, then who's going to do it? That's my motto.
Definitely needed. Yes, that's what I can say for sure. It's needed. It's been needed for the last 10 years. What's the goal with Pro Trading Africa? How big do you want to make it? Because it's quite big as it is right now.
Correct. So we're planning to, like I say, branch out throughout Africa and host, seminars, and to have offices within different countries, and obviously have employees who speak the native language. I believe if someone teaches you in your own language, it's easier for someone to, learn quickly and obviously grasp the knowledge of, trading. So, God willing, this year has to be great. Hence I'm excited, Andrew.
All right. Okay. I'm waiting to hear the good news. Now, what do you think about cryptocurrencies in general, about Bitcoin? Because looking at Bitcoin now, we're looking at Bitcoin trading at $48,000. What's your view on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general? Are you a fan?
I'm actually a fan. I'm actually kicking myself still. I should have actually invested in Bitcoin in 2015 when it was, I think, 5,000 rands for one Bitcoin. I should have actually bought at least 4 or 5, but I'm still a fan. Right now, Bitcoin, I think, sitting at 47,000 US dollars.
255.
Wow. Yeah.
Yep.
No, I'm actually a fan, and the whole industry is actually, welcoming it, even though there's some regulation to, take into account. But I'm really a fan.
Right. I know there's a lot of interest in cryptocurrencies in South Africa. The question is, do people really understand the difference between trading them as CFDs, buying them, and what they mean and how they work? Well,
Bitcoin has become famous as, let's say, Coca-Cola, for instance. If you meet someone on the street and say, do you know Bitcoin? They might say yes, but Andrew, they don't know how to go about it in terms of, trading. They can't differentiate between trading and obviously buying Bitcoin itself. So that's where we have to step in and, try our level best to, make them understand and obviously they'll make their own informed decisions.
And what do you tell them when they say, I want to trade Bitcoin and I only have $200 or $100 or $250?
Look, I tell them, if I were you, definitely, I'd go for a bigger investment because, there's a lot of volatility when it comes to Bitcoin. But look, I try my level best to draw up a trading plan for them and say, look, if you're looking at this is how much it's gonna, cost or to open one live trade, and yeah, I mean, they'll make their own informed decision from there.
True. What intrigues me when it comes to people adamant on trading cryptocurrencies? I ask them one question: what is your goal? Why do you want to trade cryptos? For what? For money. Okay. And the question is, don't you think there might be another asset a bit more stable, a bit cheaper, a bit less volatile and risky that could bring you the same profits if done properly? This is asking them.
No, you're quite right. I mean, we saw what happened with when Elon Musk introduced the new currency. I can't pronounce it well. Is it the Dogecoin?
The Dogecoin, yeah.
Exactly. So I totally understand what you're saying, and yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I normally share with them. Like the other stable digital currencies that they might take advantage of, and we just run through it, and like I say, they'll make their own informed decisions.
Right. Now, talking about that, what's your view on regulation of cryptocurrencies? You mentioned regulation a minute ago.
Yeah, I feel like the industry has actually accepted it. There's so many big companies which have actually accepted it. You can literally, I think with Tesla as well, you can purchase a car using Bitcoin. So governments needs to see it as well that this is where obviously the world is headed, and they can always probably ease the regulations as we move forward. They have to accept it. There's no other way in.
I'm dying to see the regulation, and you know why? Because that will probably calm down the markets. Because now Bitcoin is solely, and cryptos are solely relying on the news. Yeah, and we saw what happened when Elon Musk tweeted something. We saw what happened when MasterCard announced something. Okay, there's no borders basically.
And 100% right.
Not having a regulation, it encourages fraudsters.
You're
yeah,
right.
Because to open a Forex firm, you're going to need a specific license. Okay, but if you want to open a firm that deals with cryptocurrencies, you're going to struggle a bit because either they're going to give it to you very easy. Yeah, you have some jurisdictions that don't care about it. They're like, it's not in the law. We don't care. You can do whatever you want. But this ultimately leads to the average person. Yeah, my main concern, probably like yours as well, is the average person that will sell his car, for example, or go to the bank and get a loan to purchase a Bitcoin when Bitcoin is at its highest. And as soon as they purchase it, boof,
it goes down. No, you're quite right. Look, it's actually very worrying. I think the regulation needs to come into play as soon as possible. Definitely.
And down the things a bit, because seeing us 30,000 in less than 1 month, in a week,
in 1 month,
is normal.
We actually traded it when it was, I think, 23,000 US dollars, all the way to 40,000 US dollars. But like you said, it's mainly fundamental, analysis. But after the regulation, I think it's gonna just calm everything down.
True, and that's why I support some form of regulation. At least we need some form of regulation to try and calm things down. Now, please tell me something. What sort of cards do you use in South Africa to trade Forex, apart from Visa and MasterCard? Do you have any alternative ways, or just your bank card?
At the moment, it's obviously the bank cards, MasterCard and Visa card. However, the other payment methods, Skrill and other, I think PayPal as well. But yeah, mostly it's Visa and MasterCard.
Right. And you can find Skrill and NetTeller and all those other payment methods easily at shops?
Not at the shops per se, but definitely one can purchase online. They're easily accessible. So, yeah.
All right. Okay, that's good, because I know a while back there was a big issue with banking, and people were not able to get additional methods, and some of them weren't really comfortable using their savings account. Yeah, for that, because some of them did have something in it, and they weren't comfortable swiping the card online.
Yeah, no, you're quite right. You're quite right. I mean, look, with Nutella or Scroll, I feel like it's more, stable. And I think you have to go through a process of verification. So,
Yeah.
I think,
The
yeah,
verification process that's needed when you're depositing money with a forex firm. So it's good because you just get used to it.
yeah, no, you're right.
All right. Another one. What is your view of the markets this year, Minda? Where to? Stock markets are booming. World economies are down. Are we heading towards a big short, you think?
Look, actually, so China, I think there was a post not so long ago. China didn't mention that, but look, Andrew, no one knows. We can always speculate, but let's see what then happens this year. But we're ready.
Can you see the fragility in the markets? Because China said the stock markets, especially the American stock market, is moving in the opposite direction of the economy, basically, of the underlying economy. So that turns it into a bit of a bubble, into something that's not sustainable in the long run.
Exactly. Anything can happen, Andrew. Anything can happen.
And
But then,
also,
like I said,
to say it, no worries, I'll say it. Every 5 to 8 years, if we look back, it's more 7, 8 years, something bad is happening on the markets. Yeah, because there's not enough liquidity in the world to sustain everything. So looking at the most recent crash, which was when? 10 years ago, 11 years ago. Yeah, we're overdue. Right?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I mean, I remember Robert Kiyosaki did actually mention something like that, and here we are now.
Many analysts are talking about it.
Many analysts, economists, actually.
Yes, and now with the new money printing process, with the amount of money that will be printed and injected in the economies, it's very difficult. Very difficult. Bank rates are at zero or close to zero, and probably they're going to stay here for quite some time. My question to you is this: if the big short comes, are you ready for it?
Andrew, I'm 100% ready.
Awesome. Right answer.
We're ready.
Right answer. Right. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's been a real pleasure to have you here. Do you have a closing statement? Do you have anything else you wanted to mention and you didn't get the chance to mention during this interview?
Well, I just want to say, obviously, people, those who are sitting on the fence, should actually get involved in this wonderful industry, and obviously seek transparent people who can actually assist them. I call them pure leaders. Do your own research, and obviously, when you come to with us, when you can, invest in the financial markets. So yeah, I think that's my closing.
Nice closing line. Yeah, do your homework. That's it. Right. Minda, thank you so much for being with us today. It's been a great pleasure. I'm looking forward to the next one because you seem to know what you're doing, and I like what I see. Okay, so I endorse you for this. Okay, if anyone is watching.
I appreciate it, Andrew.
Okay, and I'm looking forward to the next one.
Excellent. Thank you so much for having me.
Always a pleasure. Have a good one. Right, ladies, gentlemen, we had Minda Kayoba with us from Johannesburg. Okay, the founder of Pro Trading Africa, a true mentor, someone that really worked in the industry, and someone that can prove it. Yeah, his experience is public. He has a LinkedIn profile, he has a Facebook profile, and he's a public person. This is how a trading mentor looks like. This was it from my side today, guys. It's Friday. We had a long week. We had a beautiful week. But the weekend ahead of us is even more beautiful. So I see you all on Monday, same time, same place, for a great round of market talks. And until then, remember to trade responsibly, and may all your trades be in the money.